Here's a quick overview of using the HabHub prediction software for balloon flights and payloads. I've used this very successful for our launches. Let me show you how it works. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this Use Burst Calculator. And what this does is this will show you some parameters that you'll need to know. I put in a payload weight of 1,814 grams. That's 4 pounds. I've chosen my balloon, so you can choose the various sizes of balloons. So this is a Howie 1500 gram. Now it's most important to get the this grams right. You know, what size is your balloon that you bought. Okay, next you can either choose a target burst altitude in meters or the target ascent rate. Okay, so let's say I want to do 6 meters per second. Okay. What's interesting is once I enter that, it's going to give me some predictions. So it's predicting, based on that I'm going to hit 31,375 meters. It's going to be 78 minutes of flight time before burst. And this neck lift is an important one. This is how much weight the balloon must be able to lift at takeoff. So, and how that's kind of figured out, right? We got a 4-pound payload. We want to go up at 6 meters per second. You know, that's a pretty good ascent rate. So in order to do that, we've got to have a lifting weight of 4,539 grams. That's a little over 10 pounds there, okay? This is one of the most important things to get right. If you want your predictions to be accurate, you need to nail this. So you need at least that 10 point whatever pounds of lift. How do you determine that at takeoff time? We've used a couple of methods. One is a fish scale that you use to weigh fish, and you have your hose that's filling your balloon, and you tie the scale to that and down to the ground, and you can tell when it's lifting how much it's got lift. The other thing is we've filled a water jug with that weight in it and make sure we can lift it. Okay. Now also to get that accurate, you need this to be accurate. So you need to weigh your payload, your strings, your parachute. Anything that's going to be below the balloon needs to be weighed. And you need to have this accurate. If you get it too heavy because you start duct taping it and everything, okay? We find it's better to get it up faster. Now watch what happens. Let's change this to 7. Oh, I want to show you one more thing. This right here, this is how much helium you need to have in the balloon. That's 207.8 cubic feet. Tanks come in 200 and 300 sizes. That's about 200 cubic feet and 300. Sometimes they have a little more than 200. So it's a little more than a 200 tank to do this one. Let's change that to 7 meters per second. Let's watch what happens. Notice the neck lift is gone way up. Okay, we've got to be able to lift more. It's really coming in at 8.20 meters per second. And this is how much helium we got to have, a lot more helium. And notice that the burst altitude is much lower, and it's only 59 minutes or 60, so we've taken about 18 minutes off the launch. Okay, let's just go with that for whatever reason. I'm going to say use values. That puts them over here. So the next thing I need to do is set where I'm going to launch from. Okay, so I click set with map. I'm going to click out over here by Howell, Utah. And I don't know where that's going to take us at that ascent rate. I want to put my time in, UTC of launch, my altitude from launch. Okay, this doesn't have to be real accurate, but don't leave it at 0. And then my descent rate, right? Once it bursts, what's my parachute going to bring this down at? And this depends on parachute size. And we usually fly with a 5-foot parachute. They always say about a foot per pound, and you can gather it a bit, right, if you've got less. And then I'm going to hit run prediction, and based on that, from launching out there in Howell, look where it lands, right here in Cache Valley. So anyway, that gives you an idea of how to play with those, play with this tool, the HabHub predictor, that's online. You can just look up, you can just Google HabHub predictor, and you can play with it and get some good predictions. We found if we get these settings right and get our lift right, we land within a few miles of this prediction.